Is there something I should know?
'73 Arathorn writes, I want ZerO to win, but it's a ZVZ and those always go the way I don't want. So Hyvaa will win 3-1, mostly based on build order. But ZerO has one complete micro fail too. Lol, I'm on the internet writes, always bet on the guys that you know and regularly cheer for. Jangbi, ZerO, Flash, and Fantasy. And here we go. Third set, ZerO throwing down the gauntlet. It's like it's gonna be a series, buddy. Here we go. Except down at the 5 o'clock position in orange. Scouting the wrong direction. Both guys scouting the wrong direction again, but Hyvaa down at the 5 o'clock on Gladiator. But up at the 2 o'clock position in white is ZerO. ZerO in white. And I want to apologize for not casting the Legends games yet. Haven't got around to it yet. I was not really feeling it over the weekend. I was like, I'm totally not feeling it. I think I'll just play video games. Yes, the key to my laziness, that's the catalyst of the laziness, is all the video games I own. Sorry. A lot of Phoenix Wright, and I played StarCraft 2 as well. I'm dodging all the bottles being thrown at me. It's like that scene in Broods Brothers where they're trying to sing Rawhide and they're just throwing bottles at them. I need some chicken wire in front of me right now. But I wanted to play it. I think it's fun. Still don't really like watching it that much, but I'm trying to enjoy that as well. So I'm enjoying playing it and enjoying watching it, sort of, sometimes. Rarely, but okay. Got spawning pool coming down for Hyvaa, and ZerO is going to move out. Whoa, very confused drone. Gotta love that Brood War pathfinding. Makes things interesting, that's for sure. But the hatchery coming down for ZerO. So he's got the 12 hatch, going to try to get the econ advantage in this game. Hasn't really had that in the last 2 games. He's had to fight uphill. Not successfully in the first set. Okay. Finally, the spawning pool coming down for ZerO. But, as I said, haven't cast the Legends games yet, but I will. I'll get to them. I will get to them eventually. So the first one's the Marine versus Go Rush. 2 players who I don't know that much about, but the rest of the matchups I think I know a little bit more about. Zelos versus Nal Ra was before this series, so I might cast those 2 as a pair this weekend. But of course this next week is going to be nuts. Crazy, man, because I'm meeting Ranchin for the first time, traveling out of town. I don't know when, still don't know when or where I'm going, so it's going to be craziness. I'm off the full week though, so I might be casting from a hotel room, which would be nuts. Love to get Ranchin in on that as well. At least have him cast the Legends game with me. July versus Reach, I think it is. That'd be a fun one to cast. Might throw that up on Violattack. Finally get a duel on Violattack again. I'd like that. Like that channel to have Brood War as the last video. So okay, we'll see about that. It'll be crazy no matter what happens. Just expect the unexpected. I'll show up in, I'll wake up in a dumpster after the week with wearing a gigantic sailor's hat. Gigantic sailor's hat? Yeah, sure. Gigantic sailor's hat. It'll be crazy, man. Okay. Both players going to try to defend their natural expansions, neither quite moving out yet. ZerO definitely on the defense, and Hyvaa seems that he's going to try to push up. He was running back and forth there for a second. It's a little bit indecisive, but this creep colony being morphed by ZerO, and he's transferring over with a few drones to help himself out with the defense. Gotta be careful though, block his choke, make sure the Zerglings can't do a run by, but here comes the creep colony, not morphed into a sunken yet. I think ZerO is kind of waiting to see if this is going to be too much to handle, but it is going to be too much to handle. ZerO is going to try to get at the sunken colony. Try to morph that. Oh, the sunken colony is up, so he is going to hold miraculously. Hyvaa almost made it inside that main, though. He's trying to sneak by the main, kill some drones running inside that main, but the natural expansion going to be protected for now. Here comes a lair on the way for Hyvaa. It's getting that going with the pesky Overlord hovering right over it. Yeah, I love to do that to my opponents on Battle.net. Whenever I play someone in some weird, wacky, fun game, I just like to be annoying, hover over with the Overlord over their Nexus or Command Center or Hatchery. If they haven't got it to a hotkey, I make them do it. It's okay. Spire on the way for ZerO. See the Spire coming up for Hyvaa as well. It was going to be up at just about the same time, in fact. But the observer's pointing out the limited drone saturation inside the main. Of course, most of those drones transferred over to the natural expansion, which I think is mining a little bit more than the main, which is kind of crazy. And got 3 drones on the extractor again, but Hyvaa's grouping up with a massive amount of Zerglings. Might try another push soon, but with the sunken colony there, I mean, the sunken colony was taken down to about half health. But that should be enough for ZerO to hold another big Zergling attack. Let's see, both players on the defense again. Let's get another prediction while the tumbleweeds go past. Here's one from Locust Killer. Writes, Hyvaa upsets ZerO because, well, as good as ZerO always is, he chokes. Okay, that's my added sound effect at the end of that. ZerO can be quite the choker, but he is very, very persistent. I mean, he's made it up to this freaking round of 8, and he's made it to the semifinals before. In the finals, he always comes back for more. Never really slumps or falls off the planet like some players do after making it to the finals. Getting completely steamrolled by Flash, he's still making the comeback back into the round of 8. Of course, that was the MSL. It's a little bit different, but here comes Hyvaa trying to hold against this onslaught from ZerO. He should be able to hold with the amount of Zerglings he has, but reinforcements were on the way for ZerO, but he still doesn't think he quite has enough. So he's retreating with his Zerglings for now. There's the Mutas out now for Hyvaa, trying to land some Scourge, getting close to doing so. So ZerO's moving his way down, going to try to engage Hyvaa's Mutas. And I think they both have about the same number of Mutas. So with the Scourge in the air, this should be a pretty tricky air engagement. Overlord goes down, so Hyvaa takes down an Overlord. One of ZerO's Overlords that was venturing a bit too far from home. So it was a good attack from Hyvaa. I'm looking at the drone saturation for both. I'm wondering if ZerO has finally saturated his main, but yeah, I don't think he's pumped too many more drones. He just wants to focus them on the extractors. I think he has the full six drones on the 2 extractors, which should give him plenty of mutas in the air. Okay, ZerO moving out now. He's got his Zerglings coming down to this natural expansion, being scouted by the Overlord, so at least Hyvaa knows it's coming. He'll be able to position his mutas over here to intercept. Let's see. ZerO catching some Zerglings that ran up. So that's not good. And some Scourge in the air. See about 4 Scourge for ZerO, about 4 Scourge for each, to get some big attacks and try to get things to work out like they did in the last game. Oh, in the first game especially, with the Scourge getting extra lucky, picking off the early Muta. But here comes more Zerglings running in for ZerO. He has taken the ground. All the Zerglings are gone for Hyvaa. So the Zerglings sneaking in, some inside the main, and some are focusing in on the hatchery at the natural expansion. So he's splitting up the Muta's attention, getting close to taking down the hatchery. Hatchery's down to red. ZerO's sneaky Zerglings pick off drones while the Mutas are dealing with the natural expansion hatchery. But that natural expansion was taken down to red. Oh man, just a couple hits from the Mutas, or just another Zergling run by, and that will be taken down again. ZerO does not like natural expansion hatcheries. I think he's proven that in these last 2 games. But let's see. ZerO was attempting an attack for a second, but he backed off. He spread out his Scourge and trying to intercept an attack from Hyvaa, just in case Hyvaa should attack. But natural expansion bleeding profusely again for Hyvaa. He's probably used to that by now, though. And some more Zerglings were sent up into the middle of the map. And I think that ZerO is going to go for the kill of that hatchery. He's running in now with about 4 Zerglings. Oh, running into some Zergling resistance, though, at the natural expansion. So he's not going to be able to take out the hatchery of 1 single Zergling. Or no Zerglings, unless the parts of the Zergling was just beheaded there. The rest of the Zergling runs over and takes out the hatchery. That's the only way that would happen. But see, huge Scourge arc for both players. They both pumped nothing but Scourge in the past minute, it looks like. Okay, who's going to commit to the attack? It's going to be crazy no matter what happens, because the Scourge landing will probably decide the air engagement in the next Muta battle. Just because of how many freaking Scourge are out. But once the Scourge lands, we'll know who's going to take this game. But ZerO's moving down. ZerO going for the attack. I'm probably going to bring his Scourge into the vicinity, but I think most of them are home at the moment. He hasn't brought them in yet. Just kind of posturing there like he was going to attack, but falling back again. I think he was trying to get lucky and find the Mutas, Hyvaa's Mutas, as they moved up. But here come the Scourge into play now. A few control groups of Scourge moving down for ZerO. If he lands them all, he's probably going to take the game. But Hyvaa has about the same number, so this is going to be crazy. The Muta's coming in now with Scourge all over the place for ZerO. Fending back Hyvaa for now, making Hyvaa run scared. Most of the Scourge land on Hyvaa, and it seems that ZerO might have barely more Muta, especially after 2 more Scourge land. But here comes Hyvaa's Scourge, but no, he runs out of Mutas. GG from Hyvaa again. So now ZerO is only 1 game away from moving to the semifinals. Let's see if Hyvaa can fight his way back. Moving on to the 4th set.